Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gebo the Shaman, and today we're talking about Sagittarius in the 7th house. So what does it mean when we have Sagittarius placed in the 7th house of our D1 birth chart? Let's get into that. But before we get into that, I'd just like to let you guys know that I am a Vedic astrologer, so if you'd like an astrology reading with me, you can go to vincent.thunderwizard.com, links down below, and you can sign up for a reading. So, so if you'd like to do that, you can. So let's get into Sagittarius in the 7th house. So what is Sagittarius? Sagittarius is things like religion, spirituality, higher education, and philosophy. It also has to do with like gurus, teachers, mentors, things like that. Whether they be spiritual teachers or college professors, whatever. Things like that. It has to do with the people who teach us and things like that. So, and then we have Sagittarius, or we have the 7th house, basically, which basically means our partnerships, our marriage contracts, our like marriage partners, business partners, people that we do business with, people that we have contracts and legal agreements with. It's basically our legally binding contracts and relationships and things like that. So yeah, that's what the 7th house is. And so when we have Sagittarius here in the 7th house, basically that means that it represents really the relationship that we have with our spouse, and the relationship that we have with like our business partners and things like that. So that means that when we have Sagittarius here, that it would be very like the relationship that we would have with our partner or our spouse or our business partner would basically be that of like a spiritual or religious nature to it. So maybe you meet your partner at some spiritual event or some religious event or something like that. It's very, but this relationship, it basically represents how the interaction between you two. So it would be grounded and based in a spiritual foundation, in a religious foundation, in maybe a philosophical foundation. Maybe you guys agree philosophically, things like that. So yeah, it's just it's very, very interesting, very like a very philosophical kind of relationship, which is like unusual. But I mean, it almost reminds me of like the relationship that like two intellectual college professors would have, something like that, where they're very, very into their own like philosophy, and that's how they connect. They connect on philosophy, and maybe nothing else really connects them, but philosophy does, or higher education does. So yeah, it's one of those weird things with this placement where you connect, but in a spiritual way or philosophical way, or like maybe something to do with like higher education or religion. So yeah, that's pretty much what this is. And if you have this house, the 7th house, blank, like if it's an empty house, what we call an empty house, and basically that means that there's no planets in it, there's nothing going on in that house, then I would look at where your Jupiter is placed, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So, so yeah, looking at where your Jupiter is placed can help you understand like what this placement would be like for you. So, for example, if it was, say your Jupiter was in Gemini or something, then you would love to, like, I guess, if it was in Gemini, you would love to communicate with your spouse about your religious and spiritual and higher education philosophies and things like that. So that communication would be what you would go into. But other than that, like, let's say if Jupiter was in Taurus, well, then you both would have that as a core value, like your philosophical beliefs and religious beliefs and spiritual beliefs as like a core value that you would cling to together, and that's what would bond you. But if it was in Gemini, then the communication about that would bond you. So things like that. Alright guys, so if you would like a Vedic astrology reading from me, then you can go to vincent.thunderwizard.com, links down below. And yeah, so it's been fun. If you'd like a distance energy healing from me, I am a Qigong practitioner, and I basically use a combination of Qigong, Reiki, and Qigong and Reiki to send that energy to you. And it's very powerful. And I give you your own guided meditation and things like that, so you can do that every day to heal yourself. So even if, I know a lot of people are skeptical about energy work and stuff like that, but even if it doesn't work, even if you have no experience with it helping you, the meditation that I give you alone is very powerful, and you can do that every day to heal yourself, so it's worth it. The career consultations that I do, the career coaching, is basically an hour session with me to find your soul desire. And yeah, so that's basically what that is. And then the life coaching is basically well, it's a monthly thing with me, so you can book once a month, an hour session a month with me, and we'll talk about your goals and goal setting and things like that. And I'm a spiritual counselor, so you can talk to me about your emotions, your feelings, all that stuff. And I'm really here to be a friend to you guys. So if you need that help and that support, then I'm here for you. I also do support groups and support group facilitation, and that is basically where we meet once a month in a small group, and we talk about feelings, and we talk about coping with those, and we talk about some ways that we can care for ourselves and love ourselves and do things for ourselves that really make us feel better when we're feeling crappy. So yeah, so that's all about getting the support that you need and helping others too, because it can be really healing to share your experience and help others to heal as well. So that's what the support group is for. And then we have the energy work courses. We have the energy work that I do, the Qigong. So this is the cosmic Qigong that I do. It's basically a beginner's Qigong program, but it is very, very powerful practices that I do. Very simple yet very powerful practices. So that's that. And then this down here is the self-transformation challenge. This is a combination of Kundalini yoga, Qigong, and meditation. And basically that combines those to sync up all the energies within the body, because we have not only do we have chi, but we have kundalini, we have prana, we have, you know, all different types of energy in our body. So that that self-transformation challenge basically syncs those up and gets those working together to better like synergistically help your spiritual evolution and your spiritual growth and things like that. It's a very very powerful combination of exercises. You can see me doing Kundalini yoga there, and the stretching and the yoga. It's very powerful, very healing. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. And it's available. Remember, all my links are down below in the description below, and you can go right here too. Linktree/Gebo the Shaman. So alrighty guys, so thank you very much for watching, and thanks for hanging in there, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.